Hi, I'm Hester Vaughan from Lifestylecoach Financial Services, and this is my take on the Discovery Health core plans and also just a few mentions of changes for 2026. So I'm not a big fan of the core plan. If you are considering going on the core plan, please rather consider looking at the classic smart plan and even possibly the essential plan, the essential smart plan, or essential delta saver if you can. But a core plan, especially the classic core plan, I would absolutely much rather be on a classic smart plan than I would on a classic core plan. The reason is there is no cover for MRI and CT scans on a core plan, and that's really can bite you because some of those covers, some of those scans can cost up to 30,000 Rand. And if you've had a bit of a bad year and you know, it's the way of modern medicine, doctors like to use an MRI or a CT scan because they can see so much more on there, and you can end up with a hefty self-payment bill if you are on a core plan, which really bites when you've been paying for your medical aid, medical cover for years and years and years, and then you need a scan, which happens in hospital, and suddenly, when I say in hospital, it's like attached to the hospital, and then suddenly you have no cover. So it's not my favorite plan. Having said that, if there is a reason that you are choosing to go onto the core plan, some of the changes for next year is the personal health fund. So I would encourage you to watch my video on the personal health pathways and the challenges, because I'll go into how that all works. But you can basically, even though this plan has no savings, so that's why it's called a core plan, you can get an essential, you can get a classic, you can get essential delta, you can get a classic delta core. It has no medical savings. So that's also a little bit of a troublesome thing if you've got gap cover, because gap cover will only pay out if your medical aid has paid something towards it. And so there's often a situation like with MRI and CT scans. So people think I've got gap cover, that'll help pay for the MRI. It won't, because if your medical aid isn't paying anything towards that, then your gap cover has got its hands tied and it won't pay anything towards your MRI or CT scan. So just note that. But if you are choosing to be on this plan and you can use the personal health pathways for next year, well, they started in 2025 and it's just being enhanced in 2026 because they've added challenges to it. You can basically build up your own kind of like medical savings. So that's helpful. And you can a maximum of, on the classic core plans, classic core or classic delta core, 8,000 Rand for a maximum of on a family, and if you do the challenges, another 8,000 Rand. That's on the classic. And on the essential and coastal, you can have an additional 4,000 Rand for the personal health fund, and the 4,000 Rand for the challenges. So you can add that to your family pot for the year. So please do watch that video and find out how to make use of that so that you can use that. And the average weighted plan increases for 2026 is 7.2% across all the plan types. And the good news is they're only going to start that increase in April. So you do have two chances to upgrade. You can upgrade at the end of this year. And if you would like to just have my a personal call with me to find out whether it would be worth it for you to upgrade, then please make contact with our office and make an appointment with me, and we'll go through it together. But you can upgrade starting in November and December for 1st of January, but you'll have a second opportunity on the 1st of April. So if you've missed it this year, for 2026, you'll have an extra opportunity to upgrade in 2026 on the 1st of April. So that's about it really for the core plans. I would rather go and watch the classic smart video so that you can have a look at those plans. And just quickly, what does delta mean? You can have a classic core or classic delta core. The delta stands for network hospitals. So then you can if it's an emergency, you go into any private hospital, but if it's a planned procedure, you can only make use of a Delta network hospital, and you can have a look at those online to see if that would suit you. So that's the differences on whether it's a classic core or a classic Delta core, or essential core or essential Delta core. Thank you, and I hope this has helped.